One Marine is dead and 11 others injured after a helicopter accident aboard Camp Lejeune. It's a story we followed closely all day. The Marine Corps is reporting approximately 20 Marines were practicing how to exit a helicopter by suspended ropes when the aircraft made a hard landing. It happened around 9 o'clock last night. Marine Corps officials say they were training in an area known as Stone Bay. The training required the Marines to exit the back of the aircraft using ropes while the helicopter hovers in the air. Camp Lejeune officials said 2 Marines remain in stable condition. 9 others were treated and released. The Marine's identity is being withheld until 24 hours after next of kin is notified. The Marine Corps says the incident is under investigation and details into the crash are very limited at this time. Base officials released a statement saying in part, while accidents like this are disturbing to members of the Corps, we remain resilient and faithful to one another as we respond to this tragedy. WNCT's Jacqueline Matter has reaction from current and retired military members. She joins us now with how the accident is impacting the base. Jacqueline.
Angela, those I spoke with said the accident like these are risks that occur with the job, but others in the military community of Jacksonville say tragic events like this are devastating. Marine Corps Public Affairs says a group of about 20 Marines were conducting a training exercise when the helicopter had to make a hard landing. Camp Lejeune officials describe a hard landing as when an aircraft impacts the ground with a greater vertical speed and force than a normal landing, typically after a rapid or steep descent. One veteran I spoke with says he knows all too well about these types of incidents.
I've flown in enough helicopters and have participated in a few hard landings. I don't know anything about this particular incident, but I can tell you a hard landing is when something goes wrong with the helicopter and they have to come down faster or harder than they intend to.
But active duty Marine Kyle Holmes says regardless of whether our troops are at war or on the home front, training exercises always pose risks.
Even though you're home or you're overseas, there's always those dangers that are present no matter where you are.
For locals in Jacksonville, they say hearing this news is devastating.
It's always hard on the community when a situation like that occurs, and especially when there's a death involved. And of course, prayers go out to all the families involved of, everybody that was on board of that aircraft.
But for the man who knows what it's like to be inside those helicopters, Beck has a better understanding of the risk.
Training has to be as realistic as possible without going past that one point where somebody gets seriously hurt.
The names of those have not been released, but a press conference is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Aboard Camp Lejeune, Jacqueline Matter, 9 on your side.
In the past 2 years, there have been at least 19 training-related deaths involving servicemen and women either from or stationed in North Carolina. The most recent training accident was in March of this year. 7 Marines from Camp Lejeune and 4 Louisiana National Guardsmen were killed when their Black Hawk crashed off the coast of Florida. The men were undergoing a training mission in dense fog. Governor Pat McCrory issued a statement of mourning the loss of the Marine in the accident. McCrory said he's sure all of North Carolina will join him in prayer for the Marine. His statement said the accident, quote, reminds us all of the dangers and sacrifices our military men and women face as they protect our freedom and way of life.